Hey, y'all, hey, it's another episode of Bonafide Her Podcast featuring the one and only Hiram Alexander.
What's good? What's good?
How
Honored
you
to be on
doing?
here, man. Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Yes, of course. It's about time, though, too.
I know.
Because literally we've been talking about it since AthleteCon, but let's get it started. Hiram, can you tell us, like, your sports story to how you got to where you are?
Yeah, so I grew up in Charlotte, North Carolina. That's where I was born and raised. I played in Charlotte until my 8th grade year. Then I moved out to Dallas, Texas, where I went to Bowie High School. I went there all 4 years. Had a nice career. I started playing varsity the end of my sophomore year, and it was a pretty good experience. I feel like being in different areas, I got to see different scenes of basketball and see like how the basketball is played in different areas. I prefer Dallas, and if I started out there, I feel like I don't know. It's just different. Like sports is different everywhere, and I feel like Dallas is way more just competitive about everything, like football, basketball. Like, Dallas is just the powerhouse of sports. So, it was a good time out there. And then I went to a prep school out in North Carolina called Moravian Prep, which a lot of people know. I went out there for a year, did a post grad year, and then now I'm at Wilmington University in Delaware, and we thriving.
Man, when I heard Wilmington Universe, I was like, what's that? I was like, did he even UNC W? No. Wilmington, Delaware. I was like,
Yeah.
oh. Because there's a Wilmington, North Carolina, and Wilmington, Delaware, and it was crazy because like I saw a picture of both of them. I was like, dang, they kind of look alike with the thing. But
Yeah.
so my question for you is, with Wilmington University, like, you know, a lot of people like to kind of dismiss or overlook D2, D3, and AIA and mid major. What would you say is the misconception of those type of competitions?
Man, like I feel like, see, I was the same way at first. I thought it was like D1 or nothing, but like I had to get out of that mind state and just realize like it's not just about like, oh, everybody in D1 is better. It's more so about like the connection you have, the resources. You could just like people go JUCO because their grades aren't good at the time when they're trying to get recruited. Like it's different. Everybody's story is different, so you never know what could be setting somebody back. So like I always felt like the only big difference between like a smaller school and like a D1 school maybe was the size. Like you might have a D1 point guard that's like 6'5", and you might have a D2 point guard. He could be any size. It's just kind of size differences and stuff like that. But I think, like I said, you never know what could set somebody back. So like, it's never looking at smaller schools and saying like, oh, like you go to a lower level school, it's less important or it's not as valuable as being on a D1 roster. It's just like you never know what somebody did to get where they're at. So I feel like you should always be grateful for where you're at.
For sure, especially like when, say, a coach be looking at you, and regardless of what level it is, if that coach like sees something in you beyond your sport, like actually, you know, you know, look at you like, hey, like I just want to make sure you're good, like actually, like treat you like the relationship. I believe a relationship between like a coach and a college athlete is so important, especially
Very
like
important.
because it's like one day, like say if when you graduate, like and y'all could still be talking and like, hey, like I could invite this coach to my wedding one day, but
Yeah,
like it's
exactly. Yeah,
so
and I feel like too, at lower level schools, like people may not agree with this, but I feel like you do have more of a connection with like your coaches and your staff. I do feel like at the bigger schools, it's kind of like you could be replaced any minute, so it's like you're not really getting that one-on-one time with everybody to surround like just in the program within the program. I feel like at a lower level school, like I see my coach every day. He's there for me whenever I need to talk to him, text, call, whatever the case may be. He's there for me. Same with the assistant coaches; they're there every step of the way. Like they're trying to make sure you're good every day. Stand up, stand up to part, like stand up to date with you on grades and just doing different stuff to check in on you. And I feel like at a bigger school, you wouldn't have that because, like I said, there's so many guys that could take your spot in a heartbeat. So, I'm grateful, like I said, to have that support system and have the coaches that I have because I feel like they do provide a lot of support. And like, there's never a time where I feel like they're not beside me or one call away.
for sure. And speaking of which, because for folks that don't know, we've been connected since AthleteCon, NIL is very huge, especially for the college athletes. You know, like it was crazy because I was like, hold on, wait a minute, how did Caleb and you like? How did they know? Like they probably like, are you the one that do the podcast? I was like, how did they know? But yeah, okay. But my question for you is, being at AthleteCon 2.0, what was that like for you to be able to experience that, as well as how has NIL just made a huge impact in your life?
Man, this is a good question. So like AthleteCon, first of all, was like a once in a lifetime experience. Like from the outside in, I feel like everybody that looked at AthleteCon, it was like, yo, like that event looks crazy. What is it? And then just being there, it was surreal too. It was like, yo, this is like just a blessing to be here, be a part of this, in a room with so many like-minded athletes, and just being able to share like everybody's story. Pursue other NIL opportunities, meet people, make good connections. Even besides NIL, making professional connections, like stuff that carries outside of the sports like world. It was just a great opportunity. Like, thank you to Sam Green, Ty, everybody to put that event together, all the sponsors, because like I said, it was just it was just crazy. Like I don't even know what else to say about it. Like I was blessed to be in that position, and blessed to meet plenty of other athletes like myself, who were goal driven, motivated, hungry to want more information and knowledge on like how the industry is growing in the NIL industry every day. Um, and like it was just crazy. What was the second part of the question?
How has NIL like made a huge impact in life, like a life changing moment for you, especially as a college athlete?
Yeah, so I would say with NIL, it's just allowed me to like focus more on building a market for myself, like without worrying about being just an athlete. I feel like off the court, I mean on the court, sometimes you get carried away with like, dang, like this is what I have to do every day. I have to be my best at this. But like finding out who you could be off the court is what NIL has allowed me to do. I've made, content since probably COVID, so like 2020. And when I first got into it, it was something I was doing just for fun. I was like, it wasn't intentional. Everything was just having fun, getting clicks here and there, but it wasn't intentional. And then, I felt like that next year NIL got introduced, and I was like, I might not really get into NIL. I just want to build my platform for the fun of it. But when I saw the benefits, I'm like, well, why not? I already have the platform. Why not try to do something with it? And I remember my very first deal, it was a big one, but like it caught me off guard because I'm like, yo, this is real. Like I could actually do something with this. So it inspired me to kind of keep going, and like also just doing that made me tell my friends like, yo, it doesn't matter where you're at right now, like you could do it because like I'm not at the biggest school. I'm just staying where I'm at right now, but I'm still, like I said, I had that platform that I had built when I was just having fun. So you never know if something you do in the moment is going to set you up for something later in life, a big opportunity later in life. And I'm just glad I took advantage of it because now, like, NIL has actually changed like my whole trajectory of like college. It's just it's a blessing, honestly. Not having to work a job, um, being an athlete, you don't get much time to work a job. You can't work a part time, full time. It's just not gonna work like that. So I feel like being able to do NIL and make content, something that I really like to do, has just helped me out a lot.
For sure. And man, when I tell you, like you said, AthleteCon was like lit. Like,
For
man, from
sure.
like the rooftop party to like the second day, like I didn't realize everybody was going to like some type of after party like on the second day. I was like, they went from business to like casual. I was like, what's going on? Like, I was like, let me just go ahead and take a nap, and just go call it a day. And then like just seeing, I remember like it was crazy because like seeing everybody create content, and it was like a competition since day one, and then the third day, like the last day, everybody like get into the competition, and like to me, like seeing you and Caleb win it, like because I was like, I'm just holding the camera.
Man, that feeling was crazy. Just to win over my boy. Yeah, that was crazy. But my bad. Go ahead. Go ahead.
What was that like to be able to win the award with you and Caleb? What was that like to receive that award, especially like y'all have like a huge like connection?
Man, that's a good question. So like I feel like my parents always told me like you normally find your lifelong friends in college. And like I feel like I met Caleb the very first day I stepped into my university. And like since that first day we walked in, we were roommates, and it just felt like we already had a connection. It felt like we known each other way before the first day we met. And like he's always been genuine, he's always been loyal, he's been just a good friend. And like I feel like I wouldn't trade that for the world because to this day we checking on each other all the time. Like just the connection we had to win that award was like it was almost genuine. We got right up, we said, we know what we got to do. Let's make this content, let's win this award. And there wasn't any doubts in our mind that we could do it. Like we knew what we had to do. We got the job done. And I feel like our friendship is just like a testament to winning that award, like just showing how much of a bond we have. It wasn't anything surprising to us. Like we knew what we had to do. We got the job done. With us being teammates, that was a big thing too. We've always known how to work together. We've had to do that for like 2-3 years together. So it's just a testament to our bond. I feel like we're really close, and that shows when we're around each other, and even when we're not around each other. From outside looking in, you could just tell about our bond.
For sure. Like I said, I was like, when I heard it, I was like, I was like that auntie. I was like, I feel like I had the motherly like spirit, but it's like I felt like that auntie that just saw like folks that's like, I was like, just like yes. I was like, I didn't care if I was loud. I was like, yes. It's like the auntie moment, just like yes, I'm here for it. Because like I said, like to see y'all, I was like, I had peep. Y'all was working hard, and I was trying to like I was minding my business, and then next thing I know, I was like, oh, they need help. I was like, oh, okay, like I was like, I'm here for it. I do it, just like trying to look, like to lower the camera, just. It was. I thought that was the coolest thing to like kind of see it behind the scenes and stuff, just because it's like it's very authentic to see like the hard work people put in. Like you just see like who they are, like
Mhm.
off the court, and
And it's
the
funny to it's funny to see too because like people only see the final product of that stuff, like these videos and whether it's NIL deals or just videos, content in general. Like people only see the final edited product, which is somebody literally looking at everything saying, I think it's good enough to push out there. Let me post it now. But like nobody saw the hours that got put into that video, and nobody saw me literally yelling at Caleb an hour before that, yelling at Caleb an hour before that, saying like, "Yo, do this right, do that right." But it's like we want the best for each other, so that's how good friendship works. Like I'm not gonna, if I see somebody that I really, really am close with slacking or just doing something just that I know isn't to their full potential, I'm gonna say like lock in, and like he heard that, he knew what he had to do, and we got it right away, and that's why we won that award. Like I said, we want the best for each other, and that's what makes a friendship good. Like you should want the best for each other in a friendship, and I feel like it's the same with him too. Like he knew. I think I said something and Caleb told me like he's like, "What are you doing?" Like that's just how we talk to each other. We could do that to each other because we know, we've known each other, so we know what to say, what not to say. But like at the same time, we know it's just in the best interest of each other. So
For sure. And, a lot of people don't understand how, like, say, how hard college athletes work, especially, like, they have literally the hardest jobs. So, like, for you to be able to balance your sport, academics, and content creation, like, how does that work for you? How are you able to make time for all of that?
man, it's hard. Honestly, like with this being like technically my senior year academically, it's been catching up to me. It's actually pretty hard, I'm not gonna lie, because you got these day in the lives and you got these long forms of content that stretch out across the whole day, but it's like also throughout that day you wanna not be too tired to make the video, but you have practice, you have live, and like you said, you have classes. It's really hard. So it's like I feel like the only way to find a balance is not making all the content in that same moment. You have to kind of space it out. So like I might do a day in the life, but it might be 3 days worth of content, but I might just edit it to look like one day. But that's just like thinking outside the box. You got to just do different stuff to fit it within your schedule so you don't get burnt out. Because it's really hard, like to do all of that and balance everything all at once.
For sure. I wish, here's the thing, I wish NIL had happened when I was in college, especially like, yes, I was a head manager, but still, like, seeing there was a manager that was at a mid major that's part of NIL. I'm like, if this happened, I'd have been on it already. I'd have been like, just doing something, just being myself, like
Yeah,
everything.
exactly. You're just being authentic to who you are, and you're profiting off of it. It's like a win-win. I feel like exactly.
So, my question for you is, and because I always had to let people know that athletes are humans first because they are more than their sport. So my question for you is, I'm going to tell you this is one of the another questions I always ask. So as a man and also an athlete, how important is mental health?
It's really important because like, I feel like you could get carried away and stuff on or off the court. Like for me, because I play basketball, I could be performing bad for a long span of time, and that could carry everything that I do in my daily life down, or vice versa. Outside world could be dragging me down. That carries over to my performance on the court, and now I'm, in a slump. And it's just like you have to really take care of your mental health because if not, like it will, will tear you apart. But you have to just, be strong, persevere, get through those obstacles. And if you need help, always feel free to like speak up to somebody that's in your close circle because you don't want to let it get to a point where like you can't say anything. It's been a lot of people, that have just regretted not speaking up soon enough or not reaching out to their friends earlier when they think they needed help. And I feel like, mental health, whether you know or you don't know, if anybody's giving you the signs that they're not okay, just check in on them.
Do you hope to see like more athletes speak up about it and have it like just normalize it, especially like a lot of people try to sweep it under a rug?
Yeah, for sure. Because I feel like you said, like being an athlete isn't easy, and I feel like we honestly probably do have most of the mental obstacles. Like you got the people that get down because their performance, like I said, isn't good, and that carries over their daily life, or in their daily life they're going through something, but they feel like they have to meet these expectations in their sport, and like they're too scared to tell their coaches, or they're too scared to speak up to one of their friends because they don't want to look vulnerable. Just stuff like that. You have to be comfortable speaking out because you don't want people worried about you and you doing something even to yourself that's not smart when you could have just avoided that by speaking up and reaching out for help.
For sure. Like, see, this is what I'm talking about because I was like, you know what? That's what I'm
It's
talking about.
it's rough for sure. I know. I mean, because I know even as a man, like we're almost known to be like the alphas and to not like speak up and to have thick skin and stuff. But like men have to understand too, it's okay to be vulnerable at times and speak out. Even if it doesn't matter who you're speaking out to, like just reaching out to anybody saying like, "Yo, I'm not in the right headspace. Like I need somebody to talk to." And I feel like men are always so trapped into bottling everything up and feel like they have to just deal with it, but that's not the case at all. There's people out there for you.
For sure. Even Jesus wept, and people keep.
Exactly. Like even if you gotta pray, yeah, like do something, like do anything. There's plenty of outlets to help you relieve that kind of like that roadblock in the mental area.
Do you see yourself like playing professionally, or do you see yourself like just? Do you see yourself playing professionally after college?
So that door is definitely open. It's a very controversial question, because I feel like I've done a lot of things in the past years that have like shown me, like I said, with NIL coming about. I feel like it's more to it than sports, and I know that I could be successful in a lot of different things because like I've always been just like a go getter, a hustler. I've always had that mindset. So like I've never limited myself to one avenue. Like I'm willing to, if I can, keep every door open, playing professionally, being a content creator, doing everything, documenting my life and just making good money by doing everything. But like I'm not opposed to it if the opportunity presents itself. I'm open to it, but like I'm not gonna say that that's the only thing on the table for me because I feel like I have a lot in store. And as I keep going through school and just this season and stuff like that, I feel like more doors are open. Some doors are closed, and I'll see what's meant for me.
For sure, like, and NIL can also go beyond college too, especially if you like have those connections with like the brands, especially
Hmm.
it's like, oh, well, I'm here.
Exactly. Like back to athlete con, that's what I was saying. Like it's not really just looking at it like, oh, these are deals on the table. It's more so about like, oh, I can make a connection with this business owner, and this business owner may look back at me years from now and maybe offer me a job opportunity or stuff like that, or put me in the right position to connect with one of their, colleagues or somebody else that may have an opportunity for me, maybe.
Period. So my question for you is, I don't know. I just find myself saying period and stuff because I'm like, I can't. If I do this, I'm like. it's a habit of doing this for some reason.
The
Like
clock it. Ain't that what y'all said? The clock it.
Clark it, or they say Clark it, like Clark it.
Yeah, Love Island.
So my question is, when it comes to representation, especially someone looking up to you or you making a difference both on and off the court, how important is it?
It's really important to me. I feel like inspiring the youth, even I mean, it doesn't even have to be the youth. It could be somebody older than you. Like just inspire people in general is very like I go on TikTok live and I have specifically this one person. His name is Ward. He follows almost every aspect of my journey with basketball and just life. He's always checking in on me. He's asked me to send him stuff like whether it's merch, whatever the case may be, and like I just admire that so much because like he's younger than me. He feels like I'm someone that he could look up to. Um and it's like a blessing because like anytime you're somebody that somebody looks up to, it's like, dang, I wonder what do I do that inspires them. And it's like I'm just being myself. So I feel like that's like a really good feeling, just being able to be yourself, and people genuinely will look at that and like be like, I want to do something similar to this person, but I don't know them too well. But it's like they look like they're on the right track, and I really respect that a lot. So I feel like being a role model is important. Even giving back to the community, that's really important too. Like I feel like all the people that have foundations that give back, nonprofits, I really respect those people because they're giving back to the less fortunate, and that's one of my goals in life.
Hey, come through with it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
that's one of my goals for sure, for sure.
Man, you better speak on it, man. You better let them know what it is. Like, utilize your platform, because, like, here's the thing that, like, a lot of people don't understand. So, especially, like, say, when you have a platform that you can change a lot of people's life, you should be able to use it. Like, you know, for me, like if I know I have a platform where, I'll give an example. If I know I have a platform where I could be able to share female athlete stories through Beautiful Ballers, which I do, like I'm not gonna gatekeep it. I'm gonna
Right,
share it because like there's so many people's stories that don't get a chance to tell, and it's like I'm gonna just do it. Like
exactly.
it's like I enjoy it and it's cool, and you get to hear a lot of people's like stories that you probably never got a chance to hear. But it's like, oh, okay, like this is fire. So
No, I agree with that completely. I feel like what you said is 100% like spot on. If you have the platform to make a change, use it. Like simple.
and that's on period.
Yeah.
So
You got the platform, use it. Simple.
so my question for you is, if there was a phrase or a word that would describe your journey so far, what would it be?
This is simple and cliche, but I feel like be you. I feel like throughout everything I've been through, the one thing I've never not done is been myself. I've been myself throughout my whole journey. I've never let anyone tell me different. Whether it was with content and maybe like, who knows, people looking at my content and like, oh, like that's cringy or this and that. I never stopped doing it. I never cared enough to change anything. I knew where I was headed with it. And it was kind of like a confidence about it. It was like a confidence of like just knowing like I know what I'm doing. I don't have to prove that to anybody else. You're just gonna see when the time is meant to be. And I just felt like I've been me for like all my life. I've never let anyone make me a different person or say anything to change the way I move or the way I do things. It's always been like, I'm doing this for me and the people around me.
Hey, you better let them know. It's like it's because I find like I'm like yes, he is him. Like he is him because it's because whenever I see your content posted, whenever I see your content popping up on my for you page, I'm like, repost, yes,
Appreciate that. Appreciate that.
because it's like I want to see people win, and then it's like repost, like, you know, just getting people viewing and stuff. And then it's like it's funny because I had a couple followers there like Hiram, like with the eyes looking like like who is he? I'm like he's right here.
Yo,
It's like he is right here. Yes, he is very nice looking. Yes, so he's
appreciate that.
here.
Appreciate
So
that. I appreciate that. I
First
appreciate
of all, can I just want to give my flowers to you, sir, because like since day one, like since we met, I was like, okay. I was like, I'm here for it. Like, and like you're very presentable. Like you were very welcoming. Cause me, I'm just like I'm over here, like just mind my business, but also like just exploring this. Cause I was like, this is my second time going to Athlete Con, like third overall with the Athlete Con program. And I'm just like, man, I'm surrounded by a whole lot of athletes, even though I'm a sponsor and just a podcast host. So I'm like, okay, you embracing me, and I'm like, I'm here for it. And then like getting the chance to create content with you, I was like, because
that was fun. Yeah.
because I remember you had the thing like, who should it, it's like who you think I should create content? I was like, can I? I was like, me?
I
I was
remember
like,
that. I remember that.
because I was like, my thing is like, I want to help like create content with the athletes. Like, I want to help the athletes create content. Or if I see like, say, a trend or sound from TikTok, I'm like, oh, y'all should do this, and it'd be like, man, let me just, because I'd be like giving out ideas. I'm like, have y'all thought
Yeah.
about this? I was like, this would be fire for your content. Like, yes, but for real, like, I just want to give my flowers to you because like since day one, and then like seeing you create content, I was like, yes, yes, yes. And I'm like, this man put in all the hard work in. Like, people don't understand how hard it is to balance everything. But I'd be like, oh, I'd be like almost like the auntie. I'm like, yeah, I'm proud of him. It's like, yes.
Nah, I appreciate that. Nah, it definitely is hard to balance. Like you, that's why I say about like the go getter, the hustler mindset. If you want to do it, you're gonna make it happen, and that's how I've been all my life. Like if I want something, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get it or get to that destination. So
For sure. Now, I do have a question. What does it mean for you to, like, say, to meet someone or know someone that advocates for you, especially both on and off the court?
say that again.
What does it mean for you to, like, say, know or meet someone that advocates for you both on and off the court?
Man, it's to finally meet them. I feel like it's kind of surreal, like kind of like what I said about the role model thing. Like you meet people that can like advocate for you. That's like I don't know. Like I feel like you have to show love to people that support you, and like if somebody's advocating for me, I feel like that's just a testament to who they are as a person. Not even really me. I mean, because like I said, I'm gonna be me at the end of the day. But when you have people that do that out of like just who they are, like that means a lot. And I really give thanks, love, and just respect to people like that because there's a lot of people that they won't really do everything in their power to uplift the people around them. But like there is people out here generally that do. Like what you said, I always see your liking my reposting all of my content. And it's like there's other people that just watch it, scroll, like, and I really appreciate that.
Oh, I told you I got your back. I got
That
you.
means like that means like seriously, that means a lot though. That does mean a lot because like in this generation, a lot of people will just watch, keep going, and go about their day. But like those likes, those comments, those all mean something, especially with NIL. Like that engagement matters. We know that engagement matters a lot.
Especially, I'm sorry. I just realized my thing went off. But for real though, like I will say this podcast is raw, real y'all, because there'll be bloopers, there'll be some background noises. So I will say that. So that's how real my podcast is. It's raw. But because it's like for me, like I said, I just want to see people win, and like you know, it is very like I will say this, like I always say, like I understand how an athlete works, like what they got to do, and like seeing their daily schedule, like because coming it from like someone that was a head manager for a women's basketball program, but also as an athlete
Okay.
too, like understanding how they work with the schedule, like that ain't easy. Like you try getting up at 5 in the morning to do all these workouts and all that stuff. You don't get home till like 9 or 11 at night. So
Man, tell me about it.
because it's so hot out here, but But so my question for you is, so I always ask my guests to schedule a book for the men. Bonafide means authentic and unique, but for the men, it's authentic. So, what makes Mr. Hiram Alexander authentic, and what makes your story stand out?
What makes me authentic? I don't want to be cliche and say because I'm myself. Because I mean that is authentic, but like I can't say that. What makes me authentic? I would say is just like I feel like it's kind of what I said. Like you could ask anybody that's around me, like they'll tell you like I'm the same no matter what. Like I'm gonna be the same person. I'm never gonna change the way I am, change my habits. Like me as a person is kind of like get what you get. Like I'm who I am, and that's as authentic as it gets. I feel like, and then I don't know. I feel like that's just how I've been. It was just instilled in me to just like not let anybody change me or change the way I operate. And yeah, that's that.
Come through with it. Like, what is, I will say this, what is something you want people to remember you as, especially with your own legacy?
That's hard, man.
I put you on the
Um,
spot, didn't I?
yeah, that's a hard one. That's a hard one because it's a lot. Obviously, everybody wants to be remembered in a good way. So, you know, dang, I feel like I don't want to be remembered as somebody that goes really, really hard and like pushes further to make everyone around him better. Like everybody in my close circle, I want all of them to succeed. If it was anything they needed, like, and they call me, text me, I want to be there to provide for them. So I want people to remember me as like that person that like, okay, like he did everything he could to like make sure that everybody around him was better.
No.
And that's why I said with Caleb too, like going back to Caleb, like that's why I say like I would never, just because we're so close, I would never let him slack or want to see him not reach his full potential. Like if there's anything I could, what I'm saying, provide or anything I could just do additional, whether it's support or giving anything resources, like I would do it easily, like no doubt.
For sure. See, like y'all got like a brotherhood together. I'm like, see, because I was like, if there was one, like I saw both. It's crazy because I was like, I saw both of y'all like always together. I'm like, that
Yeah, athlete Con, you saw him, you saw me, and if you saw me, you saw him. That's what everybody said too. Yeah,
it's like the dynamic duo is like, you see one, you gonna see the other, or you see.
exactly. Or the other one somewhere nearby. Exactly.
Because it was funny because I was like, I seen you, and then I was like, you're somewhere, and then if I saw him,
Yeah, the
Hiram
other one
somewhere.
somewhere. He not far. Exactly. No, for real, for real. Yeah, no, that's my brother for real,
Shout out to Caleb.
for real,
He's about to be a fighter.
for real.
So, Hiram, can you let everybody know how where they can support and follow you, and what, especially with the season coming up, any upcoming events happening for you?
Right now we just in off season, but y'all can follow me on TikTok. That's my main platform. It's at Hiram Alex with two X's, HIRAMALEXX. My Instagram is the same. I got Snapchat. That's Hiram Alex, HIRAMALEX, and that's really all I'm on right now.
Hey, y'all heard it from the king here first. Y'all heard it from him. Be sure to follow him in all his social medias and support a real one.
I
Hey,
appreciate that. I appreciate that. And if y'all want to pop up to a game, y'all can do that too.
gotta get that bread right.
Feel me? Got to.
Y'all be sure to check out the live replay of episode 163 of Bonafide podcast featuring Hiram Alex. See, this is another blooper. So I'm here. So this is
Thank you for having me, Ashley. This is amazing. I appreciate you giving me the platform to speak on here. This is great. I appreciate it.
oh,
I'm
you know I
serious.
got
You done built something great. I gotta give you your flowers too. Like you give me my flower, but I gotta give you your flowers. Like you giving me the platform to speak on here. Like this is also a once in a lifetime. This is my first ever podcast. Let's start there. It's my first ever podcast. So like this is definitely something I'm gonna always remember.
I'm gonna cry later on. I swear. Y'all be sure to check out the live replay of episode 163 of Bonafide podcast featuring the man himself, Hiram Alexander. You can check out the live replay after this. Thank you guys for tuning in. Peace.